Paramashivoham Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Yes, Nityanandam.
Nityananda.
We welcome all the participants back for the Paramashivoham sessions after today's darshan and powerful message from Swamiji. And we're glad to be with all of you again to continue with a few more sessions, continuing to discover about the science of leadership consciousness, how we can awaken our own innate leadership potential, and how this relates with our spiritual growth. By now, you have understood that leadership is not about just acquiring a position or some form of success, but it's really about your own spiritual growth, your own expansion, consciously expanding yourself. And we'll be continuing to discover more principles, some more powerful cognitions and revelations that Swamiji has blessed all of us with. But first, as usual, we'll be entering into the power manifestation. Right after the darshan, after the powerful initiation from Swamiji, let us utilize all this Kundalini energy that has been awakened to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. So we request the participants to gather back and kindly be on camera and come for the power manifestation. We'll be manifesting once again the power of Mahima, which is increasing the length of an object, expanding an object. Because when you can expand a matter, you can expand your own mind, your own cognition, you can expand any dimension of your life and naturally express your leadership potential. So you can choose any object. If you have already succeeded with one particular object, maybe you can go for something bigger, or you can try manifesting at a distance, keeping the object at the other side of the room, or you can request someone, if you have someone around you, you can request them to hold the object on their palm. So you have two options here. We can bring a bit of variation, but make sure that you have a measurement as precise as you can before starting.
Yes, it can be as simple as drawing the outline of the object on a piece of paper and then comparing the measurement afterwards. So if you have a measuring tape or anything you can keep next to the object as a comparison, all these can be valid methods to determine the size of the object before the power manifestation. Just make sure you use the same means of measurement for the comparison afterwards as well. So, for example, you're manifesting the power on a pen or pencil. You can just draw the beginning and end on a piece of paper and then see how the length of the object has increased. Yes, this power can also be manifested on your own body. So you can also measure your body height and increase your own body height. That's also very exciting power to manifest. So decide what object are you going to manifest this power on. And let's settle down. Take the first measurement of the object. I'm going to give just a few more moments for everyone to take the first measurement and then settle down for this power manifestation.
Yes, make sure that you have the measurement ready and precise. You may see even just few millimeters of change. So make sure that you are confident about the accuracy of the measurement that you have taken. And once you are ready, keep the object, so either in front of you, at a distance, whatever you have decided to manifest, and you'll be entering into the power manifestation. So sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line, and bring your awareness to the third eye. Connect with Swamiji. Be in the space of oneness with Swamiji. Remember that it is your ability to experience oneness that makes you manifest the powers. So be ferocious, be intent to remove all the self-doubt, whatever you feel as a blockage in your power manifestation. Just ferociously move it aside and be in the space of oneness with Swamiji. Visualizing this power manifestation happen, holding the space for the length of the object to increase, for this power to manifest, and let Swamiji manifest the power through you. So for that, bring a deep surrender within you, allowing Swamiji pour his energy with more and more intensity and manifest the power. Chant the Mahavakya intensely. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let's begin the power manifestation now. Continue to chant the Mahavakya intensely. And let's manifest the power of Mahima.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
All right. So you can open your eyes now and take a measurement once more of the object or even of your own height. If some of you were attempting to increase your own height, you can measure once again and see if you witness any difference. So go ahead, take a few moments and share the results of your power manifestation with all of us.
Yeah, let's just take a minute or two. Take the secondary measurement and compare. And let us know about the weight increase. As you can see, some of the participants already excited. So please share.
Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
All right. So we'll be entering into the next session. And if you want to type your results, you can do so. And let us know if you have succeeded in manifesting this power. Now, we'll be continuing to learn more about responsibility in particular, as this is one of the main principles that we need to apply to fully manifest the leadership consciousness, taking responsibility, especially feeling responsible. That is the main understanding that Swamiji has given us, that the actions that you do when you feel responsible for things, that is the second aspect. First, you need to develop that feeling. When you have the feeling of responsibility, you will just naturally have the energy to do, perform the actions that you need to, and you will just naturally do what you need to do. So the focus is on building that feeling of responsibility inside and expanding yourself through that. So now in the next session, we'll be discovering how we can expand our possibilities through responsibility. So let's come to the space of listening and let's now receive these understandings.
Freedom is, the real freedom is freedom from unstable mind. By teaching the wrong idea of freedom, they destroyed in all the fields we are specialized. How is it possible a 14-year-old boy can repeat 2 lakh verses? In India it was possible. Just before we were invaded by the British fanatics, Every village will have a Vedic school where 14-year-old child will recite at least one Veda, two Veda, which is like a 2 lakh verse, 3 lakh verse. Because the specialization, understand, the specialization, the moment you are born in a Brahmin family, the child knows till death you are going to be doing only this, better let us specialize now than later. In a carpenter family, when a child is born, it knows whole life we are going to be working with wood, better let us specialize now than later. All the artists whom I have, all of them, of course, now they are 30, 40, all of them have learnt the art from their parents from the age of 3 or 4. They started playing with the tools of their father, their parents. See, before 14 only, you make the right mamakara, right ahankara, right anyakara, right swa-anyakara, all that. No, the specialization is destroyed. When the stability is removed, in every field, we had so much of specialization. See, in the modern day, Western, especially American civilization, nowhere you can bind people to be stable. You see, only in a stable stone you can carve the carvings which will be available for, which will be alive for eternity. Anything which gives way, which is not stable, whatever you make in it will not be long, will not be alive forever. Anything, you see, mud gives way, but anything you make out of mud will not be there more than few hundred years. Anything which is stable, on that what you carve only will be alive forever. In Vedic tradition, in Hindu tradition, we learnt the process, method of how to keep human beings stable and carve the best things out of them. Our community system made human beings like rock. The moment you are born in a Brahmin family, you know your whole life this is what is going to be you are doing. So better learn all the 4 Vedas as early as possible. So that stability made geniuses happen. Same way, if you are born in a Stapati family, Stapati means an architect, traditional architect, they know till death you are going to be doing this, better learn it as early as possible. Concepts of freedom made human beings like a mud. Out of mud you cannot make anything permanent, anything eternal, anything great. The times of Vedic tradition, once somebody enters the monastery, he knows this is his life till end. Better live it. If you go out, you don't have life. Then the stable, great masters are created. But now all you guys have too much of freedom, the pseudo freedom. So every once in 2 days you plan, do I have that choice, that choice, that choice? That is why even the married life lost stability. In any field, excellence is experienced only through stability. Not just physical alone, showing the mental stability. Whether you want to excel in business, see, even when you want to excel in business, if you want to excel in the construction field, you should show the tremendous stability in that field to all your clients and to the society. Only based on your stability, more and more projects will come to you. If you are a lawyer, the stability you show, there are some lawyers who never go to court. To get jamin, they go to fish market. They think jamin is available in fish market. The stability you show, you demonstrate in the court, in your arguments, that makes you excel as a lawyer. If you want to be a successful doctor, the stability you show in the profession, the thousands of surgeries you have done successfully, creates a track record for you. What is track record? It is nothing but the stability you show. Whether you want to excel in spirituality or outer world, the stability you need to show. And stability you show leads to excellence. Even in sannyas, the stability you show, even once, if a horse runs away, you can't use that horse anymore. You can't trust that horse and get onto it. Because when you are on the horse, if it starts running away, what will you do? And same way, a sannyasi, even once he utters the word that I am leaving, over, he can't be trusted anymore. In everything, the stability is basic for the excellence. Saint Peter says the love is the rock on which his church will stand. I tell you, stability is the rock on which my Sangha will stand. Stability. Because all qualities can be trained. You can be trained into love. You can be trained into spirituality. You can be trained into integrity. You can be trained into authenticity. You can be trained into responsibility. You can be trained into enriching. You can be trained into enlightenment itself. But only when you decide to be stable. When you grow, your family, parents, university, society, everything teaches you to be rational, to be logical, to analyze, to question, to do everything after inquiring. It is good For your outer world businesses, you are going to buy something, you need to question, you need to inquire, you need to decide what is the worthy of that product, what's the worth of that product, is it worthy of what you are paying, are you getting enough returns. If you are doing a business, it's beautiful. You need to be logical, you need to be analyzing, you need to be calculating. The society which teaches you, which taught you to be logical in the outer world, did not teach you to trust in the inner world. See, your life is not completely outer world. There are many things in your life which you need to approach with a different approach. They taught you all the ideas, they gave you all the instructions, they helped you to sharpen your logic, but they never helped you to sharpen your other dimension, to deepen the dimension of love, trust, existence, overflowing, just accepting, relaxing. These dimensions are never taught. You neither understood nor experienced the other dimensions. Even now, in your mind you will be sitting and calculating. Will I get what for I came? I am here, driving more than 1 hour. Let me just see. Will I be able to receive something for that 1 hour effort which I put? Or I am spending 2 hours here. I don't know what I am going to get. Constantly calculating mind, constantly analyzing mind. Your logic is so sharp. Your logic is encouraged by society so much. Constantly you look for what will I get, what will I get, what will I get. But the big problem is just that urge, what will I get, is occupying your inner space so much. You don't have a place to keep if you get some good experiences. When a beautiful experience happens to you, you don't have a place to keep it. Because your inner space is filled with anxiety. What will I get? What will I get? What will I get? It's filled with anxiety. It's filled with the thought, what will I get? Person is constantly goal-oriented will never be able to experience. If beautiful things happen around him, even now, just take few minutes and relax. And do not plan or think, do not think too much, what will I get? I am sitting here for last 1 hour, I came from all the way, what am I going to gain? Your mind will be constantly planning, thinking. Relax few minutes and just feel. Okay? It's a playful way. Let us see what is there. Being logical, constantly asking for what next, what next, what next. It's a beautiful sloka by Shankara, tatakim, tatakim, tatakim. What next, what next, what next. You lose the whole beauty of life.
Please listen. Anything which you don't understand in the life, where your logic is not ready to penetrate, Be very clear. It is simply incompletion which your logic does not want to see. Listen. Anything in your life you don't understand, you are not able to grasp, is the incompletion which you don't want to look in. Your consciousness by its nature is Swabhava Swayam Prakasa. By its nature self-effulgent. Swayam Prakasa, self-shining. So there is no such thing which you can't understand in the life. Whether it is which graha moving where, which star moving which direction, or how to use your remote control and operate the TV in front of you, or the various aspects of the electronic gadget which you newly bought. Anything, please understand, anything, your logic is Swayam Prakasa, to locate, to look. Whether understanding a law book or understanding a musical instrument or understanding some truths about botany or biology or zoology, understand the truth is your consciousness is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa. Your ignorance is not inability, it is your decision not to look into that truth. Please understand, never label your ignorance as your inability. No. Every problem you should do a right postmortem so that we can avoid that next time. Every accident we should do the right postmortem so that we should avoid that, we can develop system to avoid that later. Don't say, oh, after all he is dead, what is there, leave it. No. Do postmortem and learn the lessons. Same way. Every problem you have, do postmortem and have right intelligence. Do postmortem and have right intelligence. Do postmortem and have right intelligence. Your ignorance is not your inability. It is your decision not to look in. Your incompletion, your decision not to look in. Understand, your decision not to look in is your ignorance. I wanted to repeat it. Your ignorance is your choice. At least have right understanding about your wrong understandings. If you have the right understanding about your wrong understanding, we can complete it. Why you don't want to look into something is second. But know very clearly your ignorance is the area you don't want to look in, not your inability to look in. Please understand. When you understand, there is no zone you don't want to look in. There is no incompletion. your pure self-effulgence is fully alive and ready to look into anything and understand anything, no incompletion stops you, you are Sarvagnya. Understand, Sarvagnya does not mean he knows everything, he can know everything. Understand the difference. This is one of the biggest confusion Hindus go on entertaining, infused by the stupid Western intellectuals. We have so many Sarvagnyas existed in our tradition, all-knowers. They have established so many Sarvagnya Pitas. Western intellectuals always question, if your ancestors are all-knowers, Sarvagnyas, why they did not invent train? So many questions they ask. First thing you should know, it is not that they have not invented, they have not patented, that's all. Second thing you need to know, you should understand the context properly, the word, the meaning, all-knower properly. They can know anything they want. When Ubay Bharati asked Shankaracharya about the secrets, knowledge about the physical relationship, he did not immediately have that knowledge, but he could straight get it. He can just one ray of his energy into somebody's body and see the whole action, signs, what happens in and out, and able to explain the whole thing to Ubay Bharati. Understand, it means being a celibate by birth, but not out of any incompletions towards sex. He is simply able to look in. It means he doesn't have incompletion. He has not become celibate because of any incompletions. He has not become celibate because of any incompletions. That is the beauty of the Brahmacharya in Vedic tradition. Brahmacharya in Vedic tradition. If he has become a brahmachari, celibate, due to some incompletions with the sex, he cannot just straight look into that science and answer Ubay Bharati's questions. The moment Ubay Bharati saw Shankara, the motherliness in her was awakened. Like the Meenakshi, representative of Meenakshi, the Pandya queen, Mangayarkarasi, when she saw Jnanasambandhar, immediately she felt the motherliness. Mangayarkarasi was basically from Chola kingdom. She was married to Pandya king. Ubay Bharati, even though she felt that motherliness, she somehow wanted to win Shankara for the sake of her husband. But the moment she put the question, simply Shankara was able to look into, through Kashiraja's body, he sent one ray of himself into Kashiraja's body. Understand? the pure consciousness. When you don't have incompletion and want to look into, you can just look into any one person's brain or look through any body. Usually that is what I do. If I wanted to have knowledge about any subject, I'll pick up that book, just concentrate on the knowledge of that author, the thought trend of that author, download it, observe, and throw the rest. Not for pride. Even now I am telling you, I challenge, get me any book in the world, whether it is about astronomy, astrology, gemology, zoology, botany, biology, law, anything. In few hours, I'll give you the essence, thought trend of the whole book. Because in Vedic tradition, when you don't have incompletions, you can look into anything. You can know anything. Not having incompletions to know anything is what we call sarvagnya.
Yes. So beautifully, Swamiji reminds us of what our true possibilities are if we decide to be stable, especially now for all of you who are beginning your spiritual journey with this Paramashivoham level 2. You still have a long way to go, continuously expanding more and more. Decide to have stability. Decide that every single day of your life, you are going to engage in this spiritual process. You are going to hold the spiritual context for every single happening that you face, deciding to cherish the powerful cognitions, deciding to have a higher understandings about everything that life brings to you every day. And you will see that whatever your background may be or your nationality, these higher possibilities that Swamiji has revealed can and will become your reality as well. The powers or whatever it may be. Now, the fastest way for us to expand to this level, to make these possibilities as a reality, is responsibility. When we decide to expand ourselves, as Swamiji was saying, we cannot give um, inability as a justification for ignorance. And it is only when we decide to take responsibility that the expansion actually happens. Otherwise, we continue to justify our state and we do not move anywhere. So now we'll be entering into another video segment on responsibility, where Swamiji addresses one of the main blind spots that all of us have when it comes to responsibility. Swamiji reveals responsibility from a spiritual angle in a way that will empower you. But most of us, we cognize responsibility as a duty. As you know, you have a responsibility towards your family, towards the society, and in your profession. You have all of these loads on your shoulder. You feel that you have to do so much work and so much effort, spend so much of time. So that is the current understanding that most of us have about responsibility. That is of as a duty, something that as a task that we must do, something that is a load upon us. But responsibility, if you cognize it, the way Swamiji reveals it, you will feel empowered. You will feel that it's adding energy, inspiration to you. So there's a very clear difference between both. So we'll be entering into this next segment now. Let's pay attention, let's be receptive, and understand the difference between duty and responsibility.
Any fellow feels the ownership. Let me describe. Ownership is formed without any bone structure by continuous action. Your actions are like flowers. Ownership is like a thread. If the ownership thread is used and actions are stitched and tied, it is ego, garland of ego. Never the real ownership happens in that way. Real ownership is flowers are arranged so thoroughly in such packed way, it looks like a garland without the thread. Is ownership. The ownership I feel, there is no separate thread of ownership running. Continuous actions performed so meticulously, perfectly, constantly creates the feeling as if all these flowers are looking like garland, but they are not tied. If there is a thread, it is false ego. In a normal man, he feels the ownership, I am doing, then does less action. That's why more thread is seen, less flowers are there. 25-meter thread, in the end and the beginning, one flower. That is the garland all you fellows are wearing. Because the whole energy is spent on ownership. Thread is the ownership. A real ownership is constant actions done in perfection. Yogaha karmasu kauchalam. Constant actions performed in perfection, in continuum, creates the feeling of ownership for others, not for you, is real ownership. But the ownership Arjuna is having is one flower in the beginning, one flower in the end, 25-meter thread. By the time you reach that, both flowers are withered away. Your ownership is flowerless garland. Drop that. Real ownership is felt by others by your continuous action. Perfection continuum. Before even taking cognizance of somebody's surrender, the first prima facie requirement is perfection. Before even taking somebody's surrender into cognizance, the prima facie requirement I look into is perfection. Feeling of ownership, which Arjuna is carrying, not only useless, dangerous. In feeling of ownership, actions are never tied properly. Please understand, 2-inch thick thread, rope cannot be used to make jasmine garland. The ego itself becomes so thick, jasmine cannot stay with it. And the ego cannot bend for action. Jasmine is too fragile. It's perfect, but too fragile. Your ego will hurt the action. Your feeling of ownership abuses the very fundamental of the action. Real feeling of ownership is felt by others by the perfection of your action, but never felt by you. Bhagavan gives the next command. Having given up your affliction, give up. A personality like Bhagavan, when he says Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva, Arjuna, still sitting with his long face and continue to let Bhagavan talk. Bhagavan is using his whole energy, finally giving a last word. Nirmamo Bhutva means without having fear about your higher identity, higher self, disrespecting your lower self, Unless you disrespect your lower identity, you will not catch your higher existence. If a child or a pet urinates on you, that you want to just get rid of it, clean yourself. Exactly. If you have the same mood towards your lower self and non-fear, not having fear about the higher self, happen to your higher self. Understand? You happening to your higher self, you making yourself available to your higher self is the essence. Be unavailable, lower self, available to your higher self, enter into the battle. Yudhyasva Vigatachwaraha. Understand, your everyday life is a battle. Take this as a direct initiation from Bhagavan. Lay down all the effect, side effect, after effect of actions. Don't carry the perverted, indirect, false, long hope. Relax from the iron chain feeling of ownership. Give up your affliction. Don't be afraid of the higher self. Disrespect the lower self. Enter into the life. Enter into the battle. Responsibility is living and operating from the understanding that you are the source of, and therefore you are responsible for all happenings in and around you in your life. Let me repeat once more. Responsibility means living and operating from the understanding that you are the source of, and therefore you are responsible for all the happenings. Because you are the source of all the happenings in and around you in your life, you are responsible for all the happenings in and around you in your life. I feel like I am taking the inner awakening next level. In and around you. So you are responsible for all the happenings in and around you. Now clear? It's so beautiful to drill this tattva into your bone marrow. When you take the responsibility not just for your image about others, but also others' image about you, you expand. I tell you, you express miracle powers in you. This is the science of siddhis. I'll give you one example. If you want the miracle power of floating on the water, first do one thing. Collect few people with whom your anyakara, your image about them is complete and their image about you is complete. Means either you fulfill what they expect from you or you complete what they expect from you. The complete alignment is there. So sit as a group and declare to them authentically with integrity, I am going to float on the water. Please understand. Keeping Kala Bhairava as witness, I am teaching you the science of miracles. Have few people with whom you are complete and they are complete with you, and declare, I am going to float on the water. Authentically decide you are going to do it. I promise that power will start expressing from you. Because all miracle powers start expressing when your image about others and others' image about you is complete in your life. Don't imagine immediately, oh, these are all remote things, not for me. No. I am talking about possibility. Straight possibility, not impossibility. There is nothing impossible. When I am possible, there is no impossible. No, I'm not giving this as a quotation for clapping and just dumping it in a Facebook. No. It's for you. When I am possible, how can be impossible? Anything be impossible. I, the greatest miracle of life. That is why I love me so much. I don't want to lose me. That's the biggest thing I have in my life. This is the biggest thing. All of you know, you are the biggest thing for you. You don't want to lose that. When that biggest thing has happened, when I am possible, how can anything be impossible? For example, if I say I'll give you the power of floating in the water, will you give up on you? Will you give your life? Will you die? You will say naturally, no. It means what? Then you are the bigger possibility than floating on the water. Am I right? When you have that itself, how can the floating on the water be impossible? Tell me. See, I tell you, all right, I'll give you the power to float on the water. Please die, commit suicide. Will you do? You won't. Because you know that me, I am the biggest possibility. I am the biggest happening. How can I give up that just for floating on the water? Then, when that big possibility itself has happened, why can't the floating on the water can happen? This is a science of miracles, understand? When I have, please understand, whenever I have the disciples who are complete with me and I am complete with them, anything I declare immediately becomes reality. Why sometime after Kalabhairava declares it takes few days for it to become reality? Because the receiver may not be complete. So little completion is required. But Kalabhairava takes the responsibility even for his incompletion and gives that as a boon. At least after the boon is delivered, he should make himself complete. Understand? If Kalabhairava says, it will happen when it happens, then he may do 10 miracles out of 100 reading. But if he declares date, time and everything, he will do 80 miracles out of 100 readings. But the 20 failure is the biggest, the largest way he can stretch his hand is stretched. And they missed. Clear? He can be integrated, but he will not be authentic. Anybody has a doubt? Sometime Kalabhaiva blessed, and that day exactly it has not happened. It's still getting delayed. Understand, this is the tattva, truth. Understand? I'm not justifying, I'm just telling you the truth. I am not justifying, I am just justing. Justifying happens after failure, adjusting happens before entering, justing happens to be the truth. Adjusting, justifying, justing. Usually, you take responsibility based on your understanding of the peak of your energy. I wanted to make you very clear. I wanted to declare it and make you understand. When I started this Sangha, even though I declared it will become an international organization, that was not the peak of my energy at that time. But I declared authentically and decided to stretch me to that. Usually we take responsibility based on our understanding of peak of energy. It is actually other way around. When you take responsibility with integrity and authenticity, the peak of your energy just expands and fulfill the responsibility you have taken up. Psychoanalysis is a solution given to the levels of the problems of the beings by the philosophers. But the solution never works. If you are bored, totally, if you are tired of going to the same psychoanalysis, if you yourself decide that I have become alright, then you are alright, that's all. There is no other way of solving it. Enlightenment is the solution for the being level problems by the mystics. Philosophers give the solution of psychoanalysis. Mystics give the solution of enlightenment. Enlightenment means not analyzing, just throwing away. Analyzing your dustbin, is it going to help you? Analyzing your dustbin, is it going to clear you? Analyzing your dustbin is not going to make. To solve the issues, if you want to clean your house, if you put everything from the dustbin, start analyzing it. Is it going to clear your house? Is your house is going to become clean? No. Only by throwing the things totally away, merging into the ananda, ecstasy, the problems are going to be solved. The three things. For a physical problem, they make the energy to come from inside. For mental problem, they teach you how to switch it off. For the being level problem, they put you in the ecstasy or the bliss. The solution from the mystics is total. Solutions from philosophers is intellectual. But for the logical mind, if you look superficially, the healing system born out of logical things feels like good. The education system born out of logical mind feels like good. The solution for the being level problems, psychoanalysis, feels very good because they are the established systems. Mediocre things always flourish because mass is always mediocre. The mystical things are never for mass, it is only for very few intelligent people. For mystical things, you need to have little patience. You need to go through it. You need to allow the process to happen. You cannot just jump. But mind is monkey. Mind is totally restless. It wants instant. A small story. 3 monkeys. They got 1 mango. All the 3 wants to share the mango. How can 1 mango be shared by 3 monkeys? They went to a master for solution. Master said, all right, all the 3 of you, plant this mango. Once the mango tree comes, you will have lot of mangoes. You can satisfy your whole life by eating the mangoes. These 3 monkeys thought, all right. They planted. 1 monkey took the responsibility of pouring water. The other monkey putting the manure. 3rd monkey, security. 6 months, they did their job religiously. But unfortunately, the seed has never sprouted. The tree has never happened. They went to the master to complain. What did you teach? What has happened? We have lost even that 1 mango. Why did he give such an idea for us? The master called all the 3 of them, started inquiry. What has happened? First monkey said, every day religiously I poured water morning 6 o'clock. I stopped even going for a morning walk, but I poured water religiously. Second monkey, every day evening 4 o'clock I put the manure. I stopped even going to the gym. Doing this religiously I did. I do not know what has happened. Third monkey, 24 hours I was standing there as a security. I never even went for my dating. I was there as a security. Not only I was standing there as a security, every day at least once I digged out and saw whether it is sprouted or not. You need to give little space for a mango to sprout. Not only water or the manure, a little bit of space for the mango to sprout. Your very urgency, your very restlessness will not let the mango to sprout. With mystics, you need to give little bit of space, little bit of time to let the meditation work in you, to let their presence work in you. If you want the plastic rose, it will be available ready-made. But if you want the original rose, you need to wait for a few days so that it can flower. If you get from the market cut rose, don't think it's original rose. When I say original rose, I say the rose with the plant. You need to wait for a few days. So you need to wait. But mind is such, we are not ready to wait. The restlessness, that is why we take the solutions given by philosophers. We take the solutions given by logic mind. When you take the solutions of the logic mind, the philosophy, you solve it only superficially. When you take the solutions given by the mystics, not only you solve it, you dissolve it. Your very personality transforms. Your very being undergoes a new alchemy. Man becomes divine. Man just reaches the ultimate flowering. Just you become enlightened. Your consciousness takes a new dimension. You reach a different space. With philosophy, you will be solving your problems every day. With mysticism, you will be dissolving your problems once for all. So, it is up to us to decide philosophy or mysticism. Let you understand this. Let this understanding lead you to be in, become one with the
All right. So here, a few of the important statements that somebody has made. How the energy that we have is defined by the amount of responsibility that we take. Most of us think the other way around. We think that we have a maximum, a limit, that we can handle only this much. And based on that, we decide that we can take only this much of responsibility in our life. But actually, somebody says it is the other way around. It is when you decide to take more responsibility that your energy expands, your energy increases. So that is why we should continuously decide to expand the zone of our responsibility. You can see in your family, for example, how can you take more responsibility in your office? Sometimes you may be working, having maybe an employee having a very limited scope of work. Still, by your consciousness, you have a responsibility. Your responsibility is not defined just by those tasks that you are expected to perform. You can decide to take responsibility for everything end to end and expand yourself. So your decision to take more responsibility is what leads to your expansion, going beyond what you perceive as your limits. And when it comes to duty, it's really whenever we don't decide to cognize that responsibility empowers us. Many times we do certain things because we have to, but we don't really decide to have the cognition of responsibility. In other words, we do it because of the consequences, because we know that if we don't, certain things are going to happen, but we don't really decide to stand up for it with responsibility. This is when the whole notion of duty comes in, when we feel more and more tired,